Hey peeps, welcome back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Orange County, season 18, episode 1. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right now peeps, let me just tell you, I am here for Orange County. This is really cool. This is how you open a season. They got right into it. And I need New Jersey, Potomac, and Atlanta to take a little note. Okay, get right into it. We don't want a bunch of BS. However, I am thinking that this is going to be a whole season of gang up on Shannon and talk about John Jansen, which I don't want to hear about John Jansen. Anyway, I do appreciate how the season got right off the bat with Shannon's DUI. The flashbacks from last season's reunion when the girls were questioning her drinking. You know, there had been a couple of reunions where the girls were questioning Shannon's drinking. The flashbacks of Shannon pretty much talking crap about Gina and her DUI. The flashback of Shannon and Kelly having a conversation and Shannon making the comment that it really does not make sense for anyone to have a DUI the way the world is today, and especially with Ubers and things like that. So a lot of those comments came back to bite her. I feel for Shannon. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there right now that I'm Team Shannon. I am Team Shannon 1000%. Do I agree with drinking and driving? Absolutely not. I deplore people who drink and drive. And the reason that I say that is because I watch the news daily and I see so many times where the person drinking and driving walks away without a scratch. And the innocent people that were minding their business, trying to get to where they were trying to go, a lot of times they end up permanently injured or they have been killed. So I really, truly am not a fan of drinking and driving at all. They showed a little flashback of Shannon having a lunch with Emily. They showed this flashback twice in this episode, and I'm thinking that it's possible that maybe they're going to show us the full lunch later, and for some reason they're just holding it back. It must be some additional information that they want to show us later in the season. Anyway, Shannon tells Emily that she's still drinking. She's got a 2-drink max. However, Tamra implies that, well, not implies, she goes ahead and says it, that Shannon was drinking right after the DUI and trying to lie about it. Gina says that one of their mutual friends seen Shannon at the grocery store after the DUI with a cart full of alcohol. Now listen, I am not an alcohol drug counselor. I have no idea what the true signs of an alcoholic is. I will Google them and put them in the video. But if I was drinking and driving and had a DUI, had multiple friends bring to my attention prior to that I may be drinking a little heavy, I think that I would go to rehab and I would cut off drinking. I think that even if I thought that I was not an alcoholic, I would still try to quit drinking for about a year, just to see if I could and just to see how I feel. You know, do I think that I am an alcoholic? Do I think that maybe I should continue to not drink? I don't think that it's a good idea for Shannon to continue to drink. Like I said, I am not an alcoholic specialist. I am not a counselor. You know, I do have a few family members who are known alcoholics, and I have seen their actions and I have seen what has happened due to their actions. And I would just say that if I was Shannon Bedore, drinking would not be my thing. Okay, from now on, I would be having soda or a little water, a little tap water, a little still water, you know, a little mineral water, water. That's what I would be having at all outdoor social functions, you know, and I think that I wouldn't even drink in the house, you know, to be honest and to be serious. So Tamra and Jen are working on their relationship. We see this at the top of the episode. And I would just like to say, Jen, when will you learn? When will you learn? Okay, so right now you and Tamra are trying to work on your friendship. It's only a matter of time before Tamra decides that she's going to throw you under the bus, stab you in the back, and run over you with a truck. You know what I mean? Tamra is nobody's friend. Tamra is all about fame and money and staying on that show, and she will do anything to stay on that show. if I was Jen and they said, hey, you're going to have to work with Tamra, you're going to have to see her, she's going to be at these dinners, Tamra and I would say hi and bye. If there was a conversation, it would be about the weather. I would not allow her to know that I got a parking ticket. She would not be a part of my business. I'm sorry, it would just not happen. Tamra is full of shit and she's not truly friends with any of these women. And that shows because she mentions that she stopped working on the Tres Amigas because she saw Shannon sneaking a drink. I don't believe that. I do believe she saw Shannon drinking. Yes, I believe that part, but I don't believe that that is why she left the Tres Amigas. I also did not appreciate all those low blows that she was landing on Shannon. Didn't we just see you last season crying about your friendship with Shannon? She's your friend, and I'm so sorry that we fell apart, and I'm so sorry that I wasn't there for you. And Shannon was crying, and you and her were back together with Vicky, and you guys were the Tres Amigas, and you belong together. You're friends. We're best friends. We're not only friends on the show, we're friends outside of the show. What friend does that to somebody who gets into trouble and has a DUI, broke up with their boyfriend? You would not be palling around with the girl that her ex is dating. You would not be throwing her under the bus every chance you got. I think that's real nasty. I think it's real tacky. That's nasty work. If as much as I am against drinking and driving, as much as I am against it, if one of my friends who I claim to love so much ends up getting a DUI, am I going to call her on it? Absolutely. But am I also going to stand beside her and be supportive of her? Absolutely. I am not about to throw her under the bus, embarrass the dog shit out of her, team up with her ex's new woman. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to sit her down and tell her, you are my girl. I love you. I really do. And you know you can't drink and drive, right? Maybe you should quit drinking. Is there anything that I could do? I'll be happy to be your sober buddy. If we want to go out somewhere, I won't drink, you won't drink. You know, we'll be sober together. I would do anything to help my friend. This is not a friend. Tamra has never been any of these women's friends. Never. Now, let's talk about Emily. Emily is gorgeous, okay? But I have always said that. Ever since her very first season on this show, I have always said that Emily is gorgeous. Her hair is ridiculously beautiful. That woman's hair, I mean, seriously, she should start some sort of hair modeling or something. I don't know. The woman's hair is thick, beautiful. I just love it. Anyway, she's lost 40 pounds and she's looking amazing. She did admit on Watch What Happens Live that she started out taking a little Ozempic. Then she got off of it. She started working out. She started eating right. She got a little lipo on her arms. She's keeping up all the things that she needs to do, eating healthy and working out. She's looking gorgeous, but she was always beautiful to me. She didn't need to lose weight. I'm just saying. Shannon has a new rental house. I think the house is beautiful. Shannon has always been able to pick out a really beautiful home. Now, she sits down with her daughters, which, by the way, her daughters are so beautiful and they're all in college. They are living their best lives, especially the one that's living in Paris and, you know, Euro trotting all over the place. I'm team her. Okay, I forget which twin it is, but anyway, I'm here for them. I cried a little when she was talking to them about her DUI and she was saying how embarrassed she was and how sorry she was because she has always told them not to drink and drive, and she felt like she was really making a bad example for them as a parent. And I agree, that was a bad example as a parent. It really was. We should really strive to lead by example. So I understand exactly what she's saying. However, her kids had some interesting things to say. Her daughter says that I am so glad that he is out of our lives. Those kids seen more than we saw, and we, the audience, seen that John Jansen didn't give two fucks about Shannon Storm's Bedore. John Jansen, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, we all have them, you know the saying. Anyway, John Jansen, in my opinion, was only with Shannon Bedore because he wanted clout. He wanted fame. He wanted to be on TV. This man never truly showed any real love and affection for that woman. That one season when Bronwyn was getting remarried, her and John Jansen were just gray goose, back to back. He looked shitty drunk and she did too. They were falling over drunks. John Jansen is full of shit. And for him to call her 10 days after her DUI saying that he wanted to break up because she's ruined his life and his kid's life being in the public, then to start dating Alexis Bellino, who is also a former housewife, who is also in public, bullshit. Okay, John Jansen wants to be in public. He wants to be famous. He wants to be on the Housewives, and so does Alexis Bellino. So in my mind, and this is again just my opinion, I think that John Jansen and Alexis are not a true, authentic, real couple. I think they are two clout chasers who's doing everything they possibly can to be on the show. That's my opinion. And I also agree with Jeff Lewis when the last time he was on Watch What Happens Live, when he told Andy that he feels like that Andy and Bravo set Shannon up. She started out the season with absolutely no friends. None of the girls were talking to her except for Jen. And they threw that woman under the bus and made her fend for herself all season. But let me also state this. Shannon Storms Bedore, whether you love her or hate her, she is top tier housewife. She is definitely in the top 20 of housewives. She may not always be, on the right headspace, but Shannon will deliver the entertainment. And I think that she can stand up for herself and defend herself. I'm hoping that she does. Now, her daughter gave her some good advice. She said, if you're ever out and you see John and Alexis, she said, just continue to move forward. Don't talk to them, walk on by. And Shannon says she wants to take the bull by the horns and she's not going to hide. She's going to talk. Personally, I think that was some good advice. One thing that my parents have always told me, the best revenge is just to live well. Go out and live your best life. And that's what Shannon should do. Just go out and live your best life and don't even think about John Jansen because he wasn't worth shit to begin with. Well, Tamra makes some other kind of nasty comment that she feels like John starting to date Alexis was Shannon's karma. She says that this is God's way of saying to her that if she can't clean up her act, he's going to just give her boyfriend the girl that she hates the most. First of all, listen, I don't know what everybody believes, but I don't believe that that's how God works. I really don't. I also don't believe that that's how karma works. And I also think that the last person on the planet that should be telling anybody else about cleaning up or straightening up their act is Tamra. Girl, go to fuck on. So Heather just purchased another beautiful home, which is not new. Heather Dubrow knows how to sniff out a damn house. She also knows how to build a house. She knows how to tear it onto the studs and bring it back to something amazing. I don't know why she doesn't have a home show. Anyway, she has bought 8.3 acres in Beverly Hills. She also has her penthouse and some kind of place she's renting at Bayou Canyon or Bayou Club or something. I don't even know. She paid $16 million for this Beverly Hills home that she is taking down to the studs and willing to invest an additional $32 million into this property to make this house everything that her and Terry ever wanted. Now, how much do you want to bet that she's going to build this beautiful house and somebody's going to offer to buy it? We go from one extreme to finding out that Jen, she don't have no money. Okay, she is not on her business. We find out that Jen, which I'd like to give a shout out to Jen. Jen's second-year housewife. She brought it the first season. She just didn't give it to Tamra the way I wanted her to, but she's back with the second season. She's very transparent. She's being very clear that she don't have no money. Okay, she's making $50 per class per person for her, yoga studio. Her ex-husband, well, soon to be ex-husband, he is no longer working for her rich family and her daddy is paying all her legal fees. So she don't have no money. So she ended up having to move out of her house that we seen her in last season. A week before she had to get out of there, she reached out to Gina, who is, a newly vetted real estate agent. Gina found her a place and vouched for her. Only to find out that, her and her ex-husband, they can't pay the rent. And Ryan can't either. Ryan, why are you here? Anyway, I think that this is a bad situation for Jen to be in. You are a single mom of 5 and you have like 32 pets. And then you have this cheating ass boyfriend who we find out later in the season allegedly, he's got FBI problems and some money in his account that he don't know where it came from. Sounds a little Jen Shaw to me. But anyway, Jen, Honey, listen, all I can tell you to do is, one, you need a job. Okay. Two, maybe ask the people at the Real Housewives if you can get a little raise. Three, downsize. Sell everything that you can sell and get yourself a little condo or get yourself a nice little house like Gina. Gina moved into that house and I really like Gina's house. The rest of the girls, some of them anyway, tried to clown her for the fact that she bought a smaller home, but she bought what her money could afford. And the difference is she bought that. Everybody else was renting. Anyway, listen, Gina is kind of ticked because the landlord is emailing everybody and their mama, including Gina, to let them know that Jen has not paid her rent and she's getting put out. And I thought to myself, once the real estate deal has been done, why the hell does Gina need to be included on these emails about late rent? I thought that was a little weird, but Gina's a little pissed because she said she vouched for Jen with the landlord that she could possibly, pay the rent. I don't know, but we saw Jen out having a little nice dinner with Ryan, and I said, excuse me, you guys are about to be evicted. You don't have any money. What the hell is this date night shit? No ma'am. Every dime should be put towards a little money order, a cashier's check, a wire transfer to the landlord so you and your 5 kids don't get put out in the street. I'm just saying. This is ridiculous. I'm not here for this. Now, Gina, she is a little tight with Shannon. She hasn't spoke to Shannon. None of the girls are really speaking to her at all, but they all have a lot of shit to say about her behind her back, about her drinking, about the incident. Gina has the right to be angry with Shannon because Shannon came for Gina when she shouldn't have. There was a lot of times that Shannon had all these comments about Gina and her DUI arrest. So I'm not mad at Gina for having this, attitude regarding Shannon. Now, over at Gina and Travis's house, Gina is upset. You know what I mean? She says that her and Travis have been looking for a bigger house to accommodate her, Travis, and their 6 children, and they can't afford it. Nothing that they can afford is big enough for all of them together. She's also still upset about Travis being married. And this divorce is drawing out because the ex-wife is being a bit of a pain. And, this is a problem for her. Listen, I'm sorry, but I cannot feel bad for Gina. There's a couple reasons I can't feel bad for Gina. Do I feel bad for the children? Absolutely. Gina, no. Because first of all, you knew Travis was married when you met him. Yes, he might have been getting separated or about to go through a divorce, but you knew he was married. And when this man is married, a wife comes along with it. And most times when people start to go through a divorce, they don't love each other anymore. There's a problem. There's tension. It's anger involved. And so people start to be a little vengeful. So you wanted to be in this relationship with this man that had 3 children, while you were also going through your divorce, your custody situation, and you had 3 children. So I'm sorry, I cannot feel bad for Gina. This is a situation that she walked into with her eyes wide open and did not think of all the consequences. There are consequences to dating people who are married and dating people who have children. You have to look at all of it on both sides. There is absolutely nothing wrong with dating people with children. Absolutely nothing wrong. But you have to remember to keep those children in mind. Keep those children at the forefront so that if things don't work out, the children are still going to be okay. Now, her and Travis have decided to split up and get different places and, try to keep the relationship alive. Clearly on Instagram, we see that they are still together. So something must have worked out. But at this point, if this is the storyline, this is what you're giving, I don't want it and I don't care about it. I personally think that they brought her back on the show this season because Shannon got that DUI. I think that if Shannon had not gotten that DUI, we would have said farewell to Gina. Gina did bring a new friend. Her name is Kate, and she's friends with Sutton. She seems like a pretty cool girl, but I have a feeling that it's going to be Kate versus Heather this season. I did like the fact that Heather's having this party. She invited Shannon via phone call instead of text message like everyone else. She let Shannon know that Alexis was going to be in attendance. And Shannon said, well, I'll get back to you. Shannon decided to go, and I was proud of her. I said, do that. And it was the right thing to do. Just show up. Don't let these ladies back you in a corner. Don't let them keep you in the house. Don't let them pigeonhole you where you're doing all of your scenes with Archie and Jen. Just come out and be who you are. So when Emily, Alexis, and Heather meet up for dinner, Alexis comes in hot, if you ask me. She wants to come in, and she didn't appreciate some comments that Emily made about John Jansen, and you don't know anything about him. You just know what Shannon told you. She's a drunk. You should really shut the hell up. We saw John Jansen. Emily saw John Jansen. The whole group have spent 2 or 3 years socializing with Shannon and John Jansen. Everybody knows who this dude is. So don't come in here thinking that you're about to change our opinion of John Jansen. That's like Vicky showing up and somebody comes in there with Brooks. We are not going to forget that he's an asshole who lied about cancer. Emily was not here for the bullshit. She said John Jansen is a douchebag, and you've known this dude for about a month. She knows him a little better than you. And when production asked her, do you really think John Jansen is a douchebag? She said, yes, John Jansen is a douchebag. Absolutely. I agree. Alexis, come on now. Before it's all said and done, you're going to be on here screaming that John Jansen did you wrong. So we find out that Shannon got 3 years probation. She also has to do 40 hours of community service, and she has to go to a 9-month alcohol school. On Watch What Happens Live, she said that she really enjoyed doing her community service at her local church, so she still does it 2 days a week, even though she has concluded the time that she needed for her court case. I thought it was really cool that they allowed her to do her community service working in the gift shop at her church. I mean, it's better than standing out on the street cleaning up trash. I'm just saying, most people don't get that option. We see Tamra with her daughter, Sophia. She says that they are back together. She's back on the show because she's 18 now, and Simon would not allow her to be on the show before. Her relationship with her oldest daughter, Sophie, is still not good. Sophie refuses to speak to any of them. That was sad. I really hate to see families fall apart. I hate to see mothers and their children not be able to be together. So hopefully time will heal, and at some point Tamra and her children will all be together. But on the show, I don't ever want to see Ryan again. I'm just saying. They were getting ready to go to Heather's event, and Eddie, Tamra's husband, refers to Alexis as Jesus Jugs, and I thought that was tacky and tasteless. I think that Eddie is an absolute jerk, and I don't like him on the show, and I don't think he's as interested in Tamra as they try to make it seem. And fuck off, Eddie. Anyway, so Emily tells the girls that she had a little lunch with Shannon, and they, of course, all wanted to know, is she drinking? And Emily says, well, she's got a 2-drink max. And Tamra, throwing another low blow, says 2 an hour. I think that is pretty much standard Tamra. She's no one's friend. And I think that if Tamra believes so much about karma, she should really shut the hell up before some of that karma that she believes in comes right back on her ass. Emily, again, is a complete disgrace in this event. I really hate it. She takes a drink. She gets something that she didn't really like. She spits it back in the glass and on the floor. I said, you know what? Why can't you ever just act like a lady? You never act right. It's always one of Heather's events. She's always loud and just wrong in so many places. And then she says, well, can I drink it anyway now? She was like, even after I spit in it, I guess it's okay because I drink after my dog. This is a woman who is desperate for attention, in my opinion. This is a woman who is really trying to come up in the housewife ranks, in my opinion. I thought that was gross. I thought it was nasty, and it was just too much. I really hate when she acts like that. Now, Shannon storms the door. She walks into the party looking beautiful from head to toe. And I really thought that was great. Gina, who was ready to give Shannon everything she had about her DUI, Shannon just frees the whole situation. She walks right in and apologizes to Gina for everything that she has ever done to hurt her. She absolutely threw down the reverse Uno card on Gina's ass, and Gina was speechless. I said, oh, wow. That's a way to shut somebody up before they get the opportunity to say, remember all those things you said about me? I hope that Shannon was being honest and she meant those things that she said to Gina. I also hope that Gina will pick up from there and move forward with Shannon with a clean slate. But that never really happens. We'll see how that goes. Shannon then decides that she's going to take the bull by the horns and she's going to go have a conversation with Alexis. And I thought, work, Shannon. Top tier housewife shit. Walk up to this girl and just get it over with. You know, I also appreciated how she wanted to pull her to the side so they can have a private conversation without all the other chatterboxes jumping in and adding extra.
I've been upset that you were involved in the lawsuit where your husband sued me, and as a single mom for 3 years. I lost $300,000 defending myself for something that I didn't even do. I'm not interested in being best buddies, and I hope you can understand that.
I'm not asking you to be best buddies. I know this is uncomfortable for both of us when you're the ex and I'm the new. No longer, it's my turn to talk. I didn't speak when you spoke.
Okay,
it's my turn.
Understood.
It's my turn.
We're getting a little angry now, but okay.
God, you're like spread eagle to the boat.
I can see both of them now.
Are we really going to rehash things 3 years ago, or do we want to live in?
Are you gonna write me a check for $300,000? Because that is what I lost. And John was there during that whole time, knowing the anguish that I went through. That's a lot of money to lose, Alexis.
I think what the real issue is here is that I have your ex-boyfriend. That's what the real issue is. So guess what? Move on.
Okay.
We're moving forward in this
Alexis.
relationship. Look, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to talk to you anymore about that court case that has already been buried and done. I'm done with it.
I still am out money. It's not done for me. It's never done.
You're never going to get $1 from me. If you don't like it, there's the door, Shannon Bedore. I'm not talking anymore about this.
Okay, just so you know,
I'm not talking about it anymore, Shannon.
Take
Move on.
John Jansen and I thank you for taking him from me, Alexis.
And I'm thankful that he left you.
Perfect.
Okay, scatter like cockroaches. It's over.
Her.
Now, honey, listen. Emily putting her face smack dab onto the window, trying to see, sitting there with her beautiful dress and legs wide open for everybody who walks by to see. All the girls standing there talking. Oh, look at Alexis. She looked mad. Oh my gosh, there goes Shannon. Shannon goes from 0 to 100. I mean, they are just sitting there like birds on a wire. Anyway, I thought that Shannon lost this one. I am Team Shannon. I'm always going to be Team Shannon, but she lost this one. She approaches this situation and starts bringing up that lawsuit. No, ma'am. You are not angry with her about this lawsuit. You are angry with her about John Jansen. You are angry with her for the things that she has said about you online. You are angry with her for the shit that she is saying to the other girls about you. You are angry with her because she's on the show. This has nothing to do with that lawsuit. And then coming to her saying, we're not going to be best buddies. She never asked you to be buddies. Okay, nobody is trying to be buddies. You lost this one for sure. Alexis tells her right off the rip. She says, show me the paperwork. I had absolutely nothing to do with that lawsuit with Jim. Jim sued you 6 months after I divorced him. So this has nothing to do with me. You're not going to get a dime from me. And this is about John Jansen. It absolutely is. And I agree with Kate Upton, who was on Watch What Happens Live. John Jansen, in a scheme of scales of 1 to 10, is a 2. She said that was the New York 2. That's an Ohio 2 as well. Why are we doing this? Why are these two beautiful, intelligent women fighting over John Jansen? Are you kidding me? That whole there's the door, Shannon Bedore, that just seems so practiced, so rehearsed. Girl, please. She probably stared in the mirror and practiced that for 2 days. I truly do think that Alexis is going way too hard for John Jansen. Shannon says, thank you for taking John from me. And I thought to myself, did she take him from you? Never would I ever give her credit from stealing that man from me, especially a piece of shit like John Jansen. I was sure Shannon said that she was breaking up with him. She was done. She was through with him. No, ma'am. And she says, well, I'm glad he dumped you, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And Shannon is like, fuck you, and then turns around to take a sip of her drink, which I hope it was water with lime, which is what I drink when I go out. Listen, Shannon, you have got to learn how to read. You have got to learn how to come back. You got to be quick-witted with these housewives. I'm Team Shannon. You guys, what do you think? Who's team? Team Alexis, Team Shannon? I'm definitely Team Shannon on this. I am sad to see that even Shannon and Heather are not talking. This is weird. It does seem as if we're going to get at least the next 6 episodes of all of the girls against Shannon. And I hate that. I really do. Drinking and driving is never okay, but I don't think that everyone should jump on board the Alexis and Tamra train. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.